Hello, and welcome to Unrefined Farming. Today we are going to talk about Tansy Ragwort, which is an invasive weed that I have on my property and am on a mission to get rid of. This is Tansy Ragwort. It's a little bit hard to notice because the flowers are not out yet, but it has clusters of yellow daisy-like flowers on the top. And you can see here that the flowers aren't even out, but it is starting to seed. See, the seeds are starting to come out, so I really need to get rid of these plants right away. Now, there are other plants that are similar to Tansy Ragwort on the property, and I find that the best way to identify it is through the leaves. I'll show you what they look like. You can see that the leaves are a jagged, deep cut leaf, and the other thing to look for is the stem goes from a bright green to like a purplish brown color at the base. Here is a picture of the base of the Tansy Ragwort. It seems like this color difference is more prominent on the bigger plants, but it is noticeable that it's like a purple brown near the base. So when you look out over my pasture here, which is not good pasture, it's just a bunch of weeds right now, you can see quite a few Tansy Ragwort. This is one right here in the front of the screen. And then if you look beyond it, you can see those clusters of yellow flowers sticking up. And just to be sure that I'm taking the time to pull out the right plants, I do always double check on those leaves. And so once again, those leaves have the deep cuts in them, and they're kind of ragged looking. That's the easiest way to identify this plant. So how are we going to get rid of the Tansy Ragwort? All I do is grab it at the base and pull it out while it's in flower, and you obviously want to do it before it seeds. One plant can produce 150,000 seeds, and a seed can stay viable in the soil for up to 15 years. So it's really important to get it out before it seeds. When you pull it out, it's very easy to come out of the ground. It has a very shallow root base. What I do is I put it all in a pile, and then I have a fire and I burn it. Incineration is really the best way to get rid of this weed. So I'm just going to go down to the base of the weed here and give it a good tug. It's easier if the ground is a bit wet. But there, I've pulled the whole thing out and the root ball, and you can see there's usually more than one stem coming out of one set of roots, so you'll get a couple of plants out at once. The reason that Tansy Ragwort is so bad to have on your property is because it causes liver damage in grazing animals. So for example, I have horses and goats on my property. So it's called cumulative damage. So over time, if they continue to eat small amounts of the Tansy Ragwort, it will build up in their system and cause liver damage. It is also a plant that affects cattle and deer and pigs. So any of the grazing animals, if you have them on your property, you're going to want to get rid of it. It's also just good environmental stewardship to get rid of it on your property because it spreads very, very easily, and so it can affect anyone around you who might be farming. Thank you for watching Unrefined Farming. If you've had any experience dealing with Tansy Ragwort, please leave a comment and tell us how you've dealt with this invasive plant on your property. Don't forget to subscribe to Unrefined Farming and check us out on Instagram. See you in the next video.